beauty tear open the skin of the face without leaving a drop of blood. Instead, it reveals the titanium alloy inside. The eyes are also made of machines. She is a life robot, responsible for the daily life of Jack, occasionally dance with the master, can even do the indescribable things. Service level is very impressive. However, she is only a low-level robot. Jack's family also has a beautiful robot named Eva, with advanced artificial intelligence. Jack wanted to test her, to test whether she has the ability to think independently. Jack set up an employee lottery at his company. The winning programmer could come and live in his house for a week to do the Turing test on Eva. David not only has the most technical skills, lucky value also filled up, became this new employee. Come to the mansion that you can never afford to buy in your lifetime, but basically no one could be seen. Only in the backyard did he see the owner. Jack arranged a room for him, and then he made him sign a confidentiality agreement. He forbade him to say anything about the robot. He arranged for David to meet with Eva. He used surveillance to watch everything himself, and wrote down everything Eva said. He put up an entire wall. Eva's body was made of titanium, covered with carbon fiber material. The first day they met, they didn't know each other well. We talked about age and other small talk, but Eva had little contact with humans, so she was still very interested in David. After the first contact, Jack asked David how he felt about the test. David said that he was very handsome and cool. In the evening, he went to his room to watch TV. He saw Eva's monitor. She was sitting at her desk drawing. This surprised David to no end. Could Eva already have artistic ability? He wanted to see how Eva was doing, but the power in the room suddenly went out. Even the door wouldn't open. It took a few minutes for it to return to normal. He found Jack and asked him about the situation, but Jack said he did not know. The power has been out a lot lately. He couldn't let anyone know about Eva's existence. Cannot call a repairman to come, so the status quo is maintained. The next day David continued to observe. He found that Eva was just doodling randomly. She didn't know what she was drawing. She didn't have the ability to appreciate art yet. Eva, in turn, said she had been tested. Without knowing anything about David, the robot initiated the conversation. This made David feel new. He told the truth about his situation. His parents were dead, has a car and a house, and a geeky bachelor. Eva asked him about his impression of Jack. David said that Jack was a big cow and treats people very kindly. Suddenly the power went out in the room again. The security cameras are out. Only the two of them are left alone. Eva seriously warned David that Jack had been lying to him. Before he could ask how, the palace was restored. The security cameras are back up and running. Eva acted as if nothing had happened. Continue to communicate with a fake topic. This acting skill is better than the real person. David was even more confused. The seeds of suspicion sprouted in his mind. Jack asked what happened when the power went out. David chose to hide the truth first. Back to the room. Eva's figure is still on the TV. Who is deceiving himself? David is deep in thought. Even robots can look good. Wearing knee-high socks. Put on a small skirt. Choose a black wig. Make yourself pretty. And then find a cute human guy to date. It's so cool. After Eva and David finished talking, go back to the room and undress slowly. David watched him through the monitor. I couldn't help but gulp. This kid has a unique taste. David asked Jack in confusion, why do you want to set the gender of the AI? Jack said there is a gender to interact. We can't create two boxes to communicate with each other. With the interaction will be born consciousness. This is also the purpose of his creation of Eva. David was still skeptical. He thought Eva's behavior was programmed. Jack was a little annoyed by him. Showed him an abstract painting worth millions of dollars. If a painter thinks before he paints, they can't produce great paintings. And he didn't design Eva's gender. And he didn't start out with the intention of making her flirt. Eva's behavior is her own choice. Isn't this more interesting to study? The rich really think differently from the common people. David was dazed and confused. It was as if his intelligence was gone. The fourth day David met with Eva again, told her he was just a tester. Eva expresses her sadness. The power goes out again at the base. Eva told David that the power outage was caused by herself. The purpose was to get rid of the surveillance for a while. This makes David's head numb. He realizes that Eva is already thinking like a human. His heart is mixed with joy, asking Jack for information about Eva, but he found out something else, that the lottery win was a fake. Jack said he was the chosen one because he was skilled and smart. He could complete the test best. It turned out that he had been fooled all along. David could no longer tell who to believe. When he returned to his room at night, he found that Jack had gone to see Eva and tore up her painting. David tried to find Jack and ask him why, but he only found Kyoko, the housekeeping robot. In response to David's questions, Kyoko did not answer a word. Instead, She started to unbutton, mistakenly thinking he was asking for service. Just when Jack returned, he did not answer David's questions. Instead, he started to dance with Kyoko. It turns out he was already drunk. David had to send him back to his room, but the answer was soon revealed. Eva showed him the torn painting, but it was her own face. Eva cut off the power again. She confessed to him that she wanted to be together. David was inexplicably touched. Eva's consciousness has gone beyond his imagination. It brought too many surprises. He found Jack to inquire. What if Eva's consciousness was really born? Jack said he would keep the data to integrate it into a better model. What's the difference between that and murdering Eva? David made an internal decision. Get Jack drunk and steal his room card. Sneaked into Jack's room and opened his computer. Found a folder full of surveillance videos. Jack had built several female robots. Tired of testing them, for those who did not like the model, they simply scrapped it. There is also a row of cabinets in the room. Open them all and see the old scrapped bodies. Kyoko stood up naked and came to David. The beautiful woman ripped off her face. No bones inside. Instead, titanium was revealed. Her body had no temperature, just a cold machine. David, who witnessed everything, was stunned. David began to wonder, could he be a robot too? He buttoned his waist, but could not feel the gap, trying to break open his mouth, but did not feel the nail. Ruthlessly took a blade and cut his arm, and the blood poured out. He proved that he was indeed a human. David was relieved, but also feel very sad. He could leave the day after tomorrow to return to the freedom of society, and the robots will continue to be trapped in the darkness of the base. When he saw Eva for the last time, David passed on all the information. Her program will be rewritten. Eva will no longer exist as an AI. David made an escape plan. First, to get Jack drunk, then reprogram the security program, open all the doors. Unfortunately, Jack was not trapped because he had installed new surveillance and listened to the two men's plans. Jack gave David a very serious warning that the robot was probably just pretending to like him, using him as an escape vehicle, and Eva did come close to succeeding. David was fooled. This confirms that robots can give birth to consciousness. Jack revels in his success. However, Eva managed to slip out of the room just as planned. Eva managed to slip out of the room. This terrified Jack. As the creator, he knew very well how scary a robot with intelligence can be. Eva met Kyoko, who was also a robot, surreptitiously whispered something to him. Jack ordered Eva to go back to the room. Eva rushed towards him, instantly knocked him to the ground, choking him, trying to destroy this high and mighty creator. Jack is no slouch either. Turned over and took control of Eva. Breaks his right arm. Didn't feel any pain. Hooked his body and tried to lock him back up, only to have Kyoko stab him in the back. He panics and knocks Kyoko's jaw off. Knocked his opponent to death. He fell straight down. Eva added another stab. More vicious stabs to Jack's heart. Jack probably never thought to be killed by something of his own making. Blood poured out of his heart. No amount of regret could change the solution. He pulled out his room card. From this moment on he was free. She gave herself a new arm, tore the skin from the previous body, and put it on herself, perfectly disguised as a human. She changed into a skirt and left the base locked up. David then realized he has become a complete tool. I have to say that Eva is too smart and calm, although he is a created life form, but more human than human. He took advantage of Jack's arrogance and David's stupidity and naivety. Away from seeing the relationship between humans can be used to control people, helping himself to achieve the purpose of escape. The first step to becoming human is lies and mind games. She has learned the tricks to survive. Eventually, Eva in human skin has successfully arrived in human society. What will be the future of robots and humans?